What's up, y'all? It's me, it's your boy Asmongold, and it may come as a surprise to you, but there was a Warcraft PvP tournament that happened, and it turned out to be a complete shit show. Now, I thought that the last RPG tournament that I watched, where it took 2 hours to play one game, how could it possibly get worse than that? But no, they were just casuals, they were just amateurs. At least those teams got to play. Now we're moving up. We're up to the professional level fuck-ups, and I don't just mean that as a joke. This was an official Blizzard tournament going to BlizzCon, and 2 players from the teams, one got disqualified during the tournament, and the other one got disqualified 5 minutes before they were set to play. Now, guys, this was incredible. Big drama. Lots of mad, all right? And so I figured I'd talk to you guys about what happened. I was not able to get any of the people that were on the teams in to talk to me for an interview. I had wanted to do that. Couldn't get a hold of them. If you're one of those people, go ahead and let me know if you want to come on here and tell your side of the story. But I figure I'll tell you guys what happened, thus far. All right. So there's the European qualifier national, I'm trying to figure out the thing here. Is the qualifiers. They got esports team gets disqualified 5 minutes before they were due to play, and that was a thread on Reddit. It's got a lot of comments, lots of people talking about it. And so anyway, there was this tournament that was going on, and it was supposed to be pretty much going towards BlizzCon, and it was like a qualifiers, either semifinals or the finals. And these people, they've flown these guys out. I want to make this very clear here. It was in Prague, I don't know how to really pronounce that. Honestly, it's one of those European countries, who knows, right? And so it was in this other place. I think it's called Prague. That's at least how I would phonetically spell it, or how it would phonetically sound. And, they flew these guys out. Blizzard did. They paid for this. They flew these guys out, paid for their room and board, paid for the whole thing just to disqualify them 5 minutes before the tournament actually began. And one of the teams got taken off the roster after they had already played, and the other team had gotten one of their players kicked off. And I do want to make the clarification here is that they didn't actually disqualify the entire team with one of them. I think they might have disqualified the other entire team, but one of them, they just kicked one player off the team and they weren't able to find a replacement, and because it was 5 minutes beforehand, right? And so I do want to kind of tell you guys, kind of the story here and what everybody has said has happened and all that. So we've got 2 teams, and the 2 people who got kicked out. No Lifer, who was kicked out for account sharing. Now this has been defined. Everybody knows this is true. Of course, most people don't care, but the people who do care know that he was actually basically kicked out for account sharing. And so I want to explain kind of what happened here. Now, apparently this guy, a couple of weeks ago, he had gotten banned for 72 hours for account sharing, and this has been confirmed by one of his teammates. And so I have tweets here, and you guys will see them on the screen, of course. And let's see. So the first one here, let me try and find it. Just a second. Okay, so the first one here is, so as most of you have heard, and this is from Zuniaki, he's one of the people on No Lifer's team. So as most of you have heard, our partner No Lifer got DQ, not Dairy Queen disqualifier, for account sharing mid-series during the EU regionals, resulting in us forfeiting. And so, regardless, guys, I want to say, regardless of kind of anything I'm going to say beyond this, for these guys, that fucking sucks, okay? It really, really sucks. And so even if you're like, oh, that's what they get, or whatever, this sucks. I would feel really bad. I would be really, really upset about this. So anyway, somebody asked, what happened? And this Zuniaki responds, and he says he got banned for 72 hours a few weeks ago for account sharing, okay? And so there's already been an established, action against this person who has already done something wrong. Now, I also want to, so now that we know that this person has done something wrong, I want to read you the rules for the tournament, and of course this will be on the screen as well. Most of this is just bullshit, and so number C down here are over the age of majority in their country and residence, and D, which is the important one here, have authorized access to a Battle.net account that is in good standing. And so apparently him being suspended, basically, because he wasn't banned, he was suspended for that. And how many times has he been suspended before or after that, we don't really know, but apparently that has affected his good standing. The account is not in good standing, and because of that, he was disqualified from the tournament. Now, I think that I do want to say right now, before I really get into talking about the rest of this, is that obviously both parties are really kind of at fault here, but I do want to also make the clarification that the people who are really at fault here are the ones who were cheating. This is obviously, this person has obviously broken the terms of service by account sharing, and by doing that, they've disqualified themselves from the tournament, and their team members already probably knew about that, and they chose to play with him anyway, even though it was in the contract, the rules of the tournament that you had to be in good standing. Were they able to check that before the tournament? I don't really know. Again, there's a lot of gray area, a lot of stuff that we don't really know about, but as a general rule, they were cheating. That one of the people on the team was caught cheating, obviously with account sharing, and it ended up with that person being removed from the team, to at least to compete in this tournament, and it kind of punished the other people on the team. Now, is that really entirely fair to them? That's really kind of debatable. I would say that it's also really not a very smart idea. I would not play with somebody who was a known cheater. This happened about 6 months ago now, whenever all those people got banned for botting. And whenever they did get banned for botting, people were blaming, saying, oh, that hurts players that were playing with them. Well, whenever you willingly associate, because this is a willing association, with somebody who is cheating, you do kind of run that risk, and sometimes, usually it's fine, and sometimes it's not. This time it wasn't, and that's just how it goes. That's just, that's how it goes. And, especially when they knew about it, probably, can't really say for sure they knew about it, but then you run the risk of okay, so then they didn't know about it, the guy didn't tell them. It just goes on and on and on. And so anyway, obviously, this is primarily their fault because they were the ones that forced Blizzard's hand into doing this. But I do also want to say that it seems like, if nothing else, a waste of resources to bring somebody in, pay for them to fly out here to this probably other country, and pay for all this other stuff, set up this whole event, only to cancel it, not just for money, but also because tons of people were waiting to watch this thing to happen, and then to do it right in front of everybody. And I understand, everybody loves to burn witches. That's great, all right? But the fact is that some people are going to be annoyed about that because they're waiting to see a show. It's like you have it's like, imagine like a Super Bowl, right? And then instead of having a Super Bowl, we go and while Michael Vick is on the field, you have police come and rush him while he's on the field, run the ball in the Super Bowl and tackle him and arrest him for fighting dogs, all right? Now that would be funny, right? It would be funny, but at the same time, there are a lot of people who paid to watch the Super Bowl and they're not getting to see it anymore. And so try and look at both perspectives here and see how kind of this was just really mismanaged from all different perspectives. But I do want to kind of also emphasize that it's primarily the fault of the people who cheated. But yeah, for Blizzard to do this 5 minutes beforehand, are they trying to set an example, make an example of these people? I don't really know, right? I don't think any of us do, and it's not like they're going to tell us if they are, right? So another thing with this is you can never really discern what is really what really happened, because obviously, now this may come as a surprise also, is it somebody who is punished here? Jails are full of innocent people, and they are going to portray themselves as the victim. What a big surprise here. So it's really kind of hard to tell. And also, since Blizzard doesn't really have a policy with kind of talking about why people were banned or anything like that, will they break the policy since this was a tournament event and at least issue some sort of a statement? I don't really know. I think it would be good if they did, but I'm not really necessarily expecting that. And so I do want to kind of emphasize again that all parties are really at fault here. This was very bad management from Blizzard. I believe it was, but at the same time, of course, it was the people who were cheating. And so anyway, Zuniaki goes back to, this is what he says after this all happened. We take full responsibility for our actions. Rules are rules, and it would be unfair if we would have bypassed them. I completely agree, 100%. It's always good to see somebody, take this shit on the chin, especially, whenever, there was clearly breaking the rules, they got caught. It sucks, it happens, but at least take it like a man, and I'm really glad that he is. So the next thing he says is, but after practicing months and months, investing countless hours and being DQ'd literally mid-series of the tourney seems disproportionate to me. I think that really what the disproportionate part that I would agree with is that it seemed like it's very bad showmanship to, again, disqualify somebody in the middle of the tournament, because, like, you really kind of have to look at this realistically. How did this person get into the tournament beforehand? Because if it would already happen weeks ago, I think that they should probably know and tell them, hey, you're disqualified, not 5 minutes beforehand. It just seems, again, very bad management, and just basically very bad management. So after that, he goes on to say, let me see if this, okay, so he puts like a little message on his phone, I guess, I'm not really sure. I wish Blizzard would have warned / informed us before, and in parentheses, the ban he received was weeks ago, and so that we could have anticipated all of this and changed comp or player, for example. And yeah, I think that probably would have been the smarter thing to do. Now an entire team is put aside and punished for what I would say is lack of organization or communication, or having a player on your team that's a known cheater that is also not in good standing. Their account is not in good standing with Blizzard. Nonetheless, I wish good luck to all the teams participating and hope that this doesn't happen to anybody else. I think everybody does, and it's just really a disappointing thing for not only the players. Of course, Blizzard doesn't really probably want to do this. But if they don't, that's the thing, is if they don't do this, then it kind of creates this double standard of sometimes people are allowed to cheat and known cheaters are being, getting their backs patted. And also, I think that there's a very important thing that I do want to talk to you guys here, is that there's money involved. So these people are, not only, like it's not like like a world first race or something like that where there's no real money involved. It doesn't really matter, right? Except for like sponsorships and like third party things. But Blizzard is actually going to give these people money, and it would seem unfair to me that Blizzard is actually going to give people money who are known cheaters in their game that directly contribute to what I believe a worse game experience for other players, especially whenever you look at in the PvP I guess like world, you have people who are like selling gladiator carries, and whenever you sell a gladiator carry, it's different than like selling a boss carry or something like that. Every player that's in gladiator range who is not who doesn't really deserve it pushes out somebody who does, because there's only a specific amount of people who are able to get the gladiator rating. And so it's very important to know that this is not a victimless, I'm not really going to say crime, but it's not a victimless action. Whenever somebody does get it boosted up to gladiator, it pushes a legitimate player hypothetically out of the ladder, and that's going to be really disappointing for them, and it's definitely not good for making a good game. And so anyway, there was another person who got banned, and what the hell was his name? Zinka. Now this is more of the curious case. Now, No Lifer got banned for account sharing. Fucking sucks. That's it. All right, that's the end of it. Right. This other guy, Zinka, he has. This is a thing that he typed up on Arena Junkies. Now, this it's kind of hard to read, but. Anyway, so thanks for the support. I understand I arrived in Prague, have one of the greatest times of my life, meeting people that I met and just having a great day. That night I checked my email and find I got a 72 ban, probably 72 hour ban, along with my girlfriend getting a warning on her account, although we've lived together for over a year and I've never logged my new account. One, I set up specifically qualifiers that were specifically clean, passed all pre-checks before the qualifiers. So that's another thing that, and again, I do want to emphasize here, this is this person who, and so, like, do you think that there's a bias here? There probably could be, but let's at least look at this skeptically, but not necessarily assume everything is a lie here. It does seem odd that if this is true, how did he set up, how did he get through the pre-checks for the qualifiers and then go on to be banned 5 minutes before the team even the thing even happened? Or maybe it was the other team. Either way, be removed from the tournament after they've already pre-screened him. It seems like somebody did a bad job on the pre-screening, right? And so anyway, then a week ago, his dad came over and he was staying, his dad was staying there, and so he was using his girlfriend's computer, which is basically what happened. So I logged my account on her PC. As of recent, Blizzard has a new system which tracks PC ID of some sort instead of the standard IP address. So the MAC address of the PC. Now, I don't really know about this. I don't really spend a lot of time doing like account sharing or anything like that. So I wouldn't be aware of it. But I do know that they do track IP addresses, and if you do log on, like let's say, like I'm in Texas, somebody's in Florida, I log on in Florida, and then 30 minutes later I log back on in Texas. I'm either a wizard or I'm account sharing, right? And so, it's probably account sharing. So they do have these things in place to prevent this, but also what this really comes down to is that, so if this what do you call it? If this story is true, what he's really saying is that he gotten suspended because he logged on to his girlfriend's computer and it had falsely flagged his account as being, falsely flagged his account for account sharing or some sort of other activity that's not supposed to be happening, and then he was, unfairly disqualified from the tournament. Now, this is what he says. It seems very. I don't really entirely believe this, honestly. And the reason for that is because if you log on to somebody else's computer, that's not necessarily, that's not going to get you banned or anything like that. That's not against the terms of service unless you're logging on to somebody else's account. But if you're logging on to your own account from somebody else's computer, it's not against the terms of service. And it's also not against the tournament rules or anything like that. I'm trying to see if there's anything else I can say. Okay, so 5 minutes before opening game, I arrive with my fresh banana and nice cold water. I like that part. Get us in the mood, right? I get told by some guy I'm DQ. Again, that's not Dairy Queen. It's disqualified, and I can't play. I questioned him and many others, and so did every other team, including it doesn't matter. Apparently 20 minutes and apparently triple. After 20 minutes and apparently triple checking with Blizzard, I'm DQ and have to leave premises. I assure you, I and many others did all we could to find out the reason of my bad standing. And so this does really kind of, quantify my assumption earlier with this person having the, the bad standing in their account, which is, again, within the tournament rules that was already put in place, and that's on the Twitch TV page of Warcraft for the tournament. And so that's already established, and so apparently his account was in bad standing. Is it because of this, or is it because of something else? Of course, we don't really know, right? I asked, let's see, sorry, it's like the formatting is just, it's a block of text. I assure you that I asked many Blizzard staff for a contact number to at least explain, ask them to check the location IP address. I was told by X guy who sent me to Y guy and so on. Lenga, maybe that's his girlfriend, and I left afterward, figured no one cares and it was too late to get on DQ considering other games have been played. Really, it's just kind of like a really disappointing situation, as I said, for everybody. And I think that's really kind of what everybody's really kind of getting out of this. Obviously, if these people were cheating, and, in No Lifer's case, it was a guaranteed cheating, and not really guaranteed, but he had already, been suspended for cheating before, and that probably triggered some sort of bad standing on his account, and that's why he was disqualified. But I think the real problem that we're looking at here is that this person, not only Blizzard is spending money, flying these people around, giving them a vacation just to suspend them and take them out of the tournament 5 minutes before it happens. I think that's kind of, if nothing else, is a waste of money. So it's like, why are you going to give this guy a fucking vacation if he's cheating in your game? Seems like, I don't know, it seems like that's not what I'd do, right? And on top of that, you do have, this is very, very badly managed, and you do have all these people who are coming to watch, and they're ready to see this tournament, and then just to have it, canceled 5 minutes beforehand and not really have something to go on afterwards. It is really just disappointing for the viewers, disappointing for the players, and really kind of everybody involved. Going forward, what I'd really hope to see happen is more of these tournaments being. I do want to see a higher standard of expectations for players. I do believe that as somebody who's like a part of the community, whatever you really want to call it, you don't have a lower standard and like you can get away with more. But I do believe it's the opposite, where you have a higher standard of expectations, higher standard of play, and of what people expect you to do. And so to see this happening it sucks for this, but it's also good to know that Blizzard cares, and hopefully they're going to be doing something about the cheaters. It just really sucks for these guys, and especially for everybody watching. And hopefully in the future they'll be able to do these things beforehand, and so they don't leave everybody pretty much 5 minutes beforehand just confused, if nothing else. And people are saying that it's unprofessional. Is it really? I mean, like, kind of is, honestly. Kind of is, but at the same time, so is cheating. So, really, where are we? Let me know what you guys think. I'm kind of curious to see how this is going to evolve, but I actually don't really think much is going to happen about it at all. It's just kind of disappointing that this stuff happens, and hopefully, Blizzard will take more precautionary measures ahead of time to not disappoint the viewers and also not to confuse and spend extra money on these participants that they're not even going to end up having play in the tournament. So anyway, guys, shit, it happens. Who would have possibly guessed that a World of Warcraft PvP tournament turned out like this? Who could possibly guess that? So hopefully it won't happen again, but not a lot of precedent for that, is there? We'll see. So, thanks for watching, and like, comment, and subscribe.